Sok, I gather from you so far that it might even be impossible for North Koreans to let go of their killing urge. Or do you think something can be done to improve the North Korean situation?
Unlikely. One-sided people like Kim Il-sung and North Koreans would be just like the situation of mistreated animals since birth. They all need unconditional nurturing to become two-sided. If there's a nurturer, in his point of view, nurturing one-sided people like serial killers would be just like going into an angry and hungry lion's den. Therefore, the qualification of nurturer is a person who has accepted his death. He's calm and firm while facing challenges and tasks from one-sided individual for indefinite and numerous times. This one-sided individual does it to see if whether nurture will still remain to be unconditional while facing potentially being murdered by the nurtured. When the nurturer doesn't react, there begins trust. After providing sufficient nurturing, the nurturer, just like animal mothers in animal kingdom, has to detach himself from the nurtured. That will give the nurtured a chance to rebirth to the full spectrum of human psyche. He becomes two-sided and self-sufficient. His self-sufficiency comes from that he doesn't abuse people anymore. Abusing and being abused are codependency. It takes two hands to clap. That's why nurturer, as its choice, can break the vicious cycle by not reacting from any challenges from the one-sided individual. I mean, that'd be really funny if nurturer start beating the shit out of the nurtured, and therefore nurturer becomes an abuser. And for nurtured, I mean, he will keep killing people, including the nurturer. That is basically the story of a human history. It's two-party circus. In this eye for an eye world, I mean, where's a nurturer to give North Koreans unconditional love? North Koreans, they don't even have enough food, enough corn to eat, while rest of the whole world is getting fed very well. However, there's a nurturer, but we're in the process of losing her. She is a nature, the mother of all the nurturers, and the nurturer for all the human beings. In a sense, she's detaching herself from us. In my view, if a person sees this, they'll give him a chance to rebirth. However, if there's a person who would be still interested in trying to ease the tension of North Korea, not that I can see the possibility of easing the tension, respect would be a start.
Sok, one could point to the Middle East and the Korean Peninsula as being potentially the two most volatile regions in the world today. Do you see any difference in the psychological structure between these two hotspots?
Difference in depths of traumas. When a person is bullied, immediately he starts working on returning the trauma. And when he's not capable of returning physically, there's one way to return it is to curse. Among all the curses, the most fundamental one to say is, I am God's chosen nation. It is the same as saying, you are fucked up by your birth, by not being us. That is not reversible. What is the point of your existence? When a person hears it, it's very difficult not to beat up the cursor again. And on top of it, he wants to curse back in the same way with a slightly different God. Basically, that is the Middle Eastern sentiment. It is an acute history of continuing role reversal between abuser and abused. All countries and nations are the outcome of collective reaction to their traumas. In case of Middle East, it is an acute outcome of collective reaction to the trauma of feeling victimized. It is very close to and similar to North Koreans. However, there's a difference. Difference is North Korean Middle Eastern reaction comes from not yet accepting their death. Unlike North Koreans who went through and going through continuing post-war syndrome, therefore continuing death traumas. As an example, like what I said before, North Koreans don't even have enough or little corn to eat, and which means where's mother's milk? Therefore, instead of anyone's life, it is continuing death trauma. And when a North Korean person and North Koreans accept their death, they have neither religion nor dependency. It's like, for them, what is the point of even begging to God? Well, they can easily die. And also, when it comes to not having dependency, we know the stories of North Koreans starving to death for long decades and stuff, while they haven't really cried for help internationally. In case of Middle East, their limbo of not yet accepting death is a breeding ground of all the religions. Basically, it is an insurance policy just in case God's chosen nation thing turns out to be true someday. According to fundamental fanatical religions in the Middle East, God only speaks to the middlemen who are their leaders. Therefore, God's message is diluted. In case of North Korea, God resides among them, and his name was Kim Il-sung. Later, his name became Kim Jong-il, and currently, his name is Kim Jong-un. Therefore, his command is direct, real, and powerful.